I'll be taking you through I'll be taking you through the coding journey, coding banana test 1 and 2 gi, and the topics that we will cover in this camp are so I'll introduce you to banana test and then object sequencing, the list, for loops, range, variables, the conditionals, while loop, the functions, data types, and set. Uh, Magilab Daluasi, like if I am fast, then please reply in the chat box. And then if I'm not audible मेरो laptop. So Uh, more about me. So I am a second year bioinformatics student at University of Toronto. So bioinformatics lab meeting ngachi computer science ta biology ki mixture zum chi tu ga ani sara dombe study beni se lawachin. We take bioinformatics. So what we basically do is we analyze biological data khasani outbreak thimo such desuki kem dalu outbreak thimi di ani zum chi da disease identify bego wachin we use like bioinformatics bioinformatics की course के आने zoom chitil पे हो तो का so if you are interested both in computer science and also in biology so you can take this course or similar course like this so that will che ansumago umba so when you are deciding to choose your stream in 11 12 na heptalu so if you are interested in both then you can take both biology and math and then later you can take courses like bioinformatics too. So first, let me introduce you all to Banana Tales. So Banana Tales na gachi bego sewachin. The mission is to make an gachilo. Uh, you have a cart like this, and you have a monkey. So the objective of the Banana Tales is to reach this cart carrying the banana till the monkey. So to do that, you have to clear some obstacles and then anusum chibeojin. There's a gap here, mo. The gap need to so any gap the fill pay. You can run the cart so that the cart carrying the banana reaches the monkey. So anusum chi level complete penny you have to do that. So to do that, so how you do is on the left side nalu you have a coding shell. So on a shell nalu che code bay mo. Then that code will do something to the objects like an a giraffe zoom chi height increase pe so that will fill the gap and then the cart will move and then it will reach till the monkey. So zoom chi. So in another one you have obstacle like this and a box the eyes sumbe and then you are given a dragon. So any dragon gi use chap obstacle this car break pe clear beta tele run beodalu that cart will reach till the monkey. So as gara beni gidenlu we have to code ba so any code kadebe benna di don't worry I'm gonna teach you all. So before I dive into the concepts, the first objects learning achimo. So before I go into that, I want to tell you something. Coding samidi, it is considered a language too. So it is just a language like Sonka English and any other French and Zumbe language. So if we are learning a language, the first nalu Chinese code zumchima, namisami complicated thong. But then if you really want to learn a language, then what you have to do is you have to speak it more. Speak ma beole che like so kamchi teru che hami goga the language ti. So uh, if you want to learn a language, you have to speak it. Similarly, if you want to learn coding, the only way you can learn is by coding more. So practice pe becham chilap suktuga. So if you are finding it so complicated at the moment, don't worry. So as the coding be jodalu, you'll understand more. So now let us begin with objects. So objects it is real world things that have properties and methods. So anything that has properties and methods is known as objects. For instance, another dragon chidumo and the object bay. That's giraffe thoimo follow and object bay. So those objects are given to you in the code monkey, the banana test 1 and 2 nalu, you don't have to create it, but your job is to do something with that object. So objects have properties and methods. So properties semidi something that object has more. For instance, height. The me the object bewachin. Our properties could be our height, the hair length more, and then skin tone and zoom chiba. So something that we have, more characteristics that we have, that is the property. And then method, they what we do, what the object does. For instance, ngachi mi zoom chibe wachin move more, move penny, to eat, to walk, to listen, to learn, to study, and zoom chibe wachin method. So hagoimo. So only thing you have to understand from this slide is anything that has properties and methods are known as objects. And then uh, properties are something that the object has, and method is something that the object does. Clear mo? The actually, before we move on, I wanted to show some difference between English and code. So English na bewachin ngachigi, we say that giraffe ki height chi increase begawachin. We'll say something like let the giraffe's height be 5 units more. So anebela wachin the code nalu we write it like giraffe dot height equals to 5 way. Tuga ani di like properties change bewachin. And then if we are dealing with the method like a dragon method, for instance, we would say let the dragon fire at the obstacle. So anzum chi English na lawachin, the in code we will say something like dragon dot fire at the bracket chi open bay the ananalu, like we call these parameters. So anizum sube and then we write in ba. So don't worry about these parameters and brackets. We'll learn more about it when we learn about functions later on in the course. So dato ki denlu just know that method ki denlu we usually use brackets tuga, and brackets cha phalu evachin is most probably a method. And then if it is property like height sumchi vachin, we do not usually use a bracket. Tugosh. So Ani teach Peodalu, I will go through the slides, and side by side, I'll also show you the show you and solve some uh, the challenges in the code monkey. Falu banana test ki. Dato Beojin, let us once go through challenge 10 to ba. So Dato Ani challenge tawachin and Thome Gamako. Is this visible to you all? And chat na reply bena?
Challenge me don't be equal. You are showing from
Are
Code
you
Monkey.
there? Okay, okay.
That to the
Screen visible, Mindu?
Mindu. 저기 사실 아니 stop baby 아니 제 윈도우 시점지 배우 되면 안 빈대 원이미. 누워서 stop baby look share baby entire Windows 배우 진도.
स्क्रीन में थम बया नि गचलो कोट मंकी
미통배 다도 아니 그실로 저기 슬라이드 디스플레이 베이비도 봐. 제 아니 Code Monkey 날래라 되니 누. You're showing the Code Monkey 아니 screen. 원 사치 아니
아시미 스크린 비지블 민도야
아니 slide visible do slide. Once 아니 stop baby log the share baby 아니 윈도우 찌나 멤버 enter 윈도우스샤 아니 비자 진치기 아니 스크린 같이 봐주 통방하지
ततुम थमे 아심
미통배 아니 지기 꽃만 기기 아닌데 미통배 저 지기 아니 잉글리시 한 꽃기 스크린 점 통배
오케이 오케이
once 아니 share 비니 stop 베무ш stop 베비 log the once share 비 you can try it like that okay then share 베더디 제니 particular window 점 멤버 enter windows lappe joni ba hani de salibi. Ati guna tupka
Enter window. That will visible to Bashim.
yes yes da tombe.
Is it visible to you all?
Yes
Okay.
yes lo. Okay, continue.
Tachiki the gara goimo follow explain baby the mod.
Okay, continue.
Okay. So the challenge tawachin and zoom chibewachin we have four giraffes more and then the cart is out here. So analu tawachin chi grid thontu gane gachlo cursor de na ba we play be tawachin you see a grid and then each grid is worth 1 unit. So ana giraffe first nalu giraffe 4 dumo and giraffe 4 ime so ani giraffe 4 gi height tawachin we just have 2 units pa tatu. So in order for the cart to travel you have to make the giraffe force height equal to 5 units memo. So and zumbera the giraffe 3 gi imagine you have to make it 6 the giraffe 2 gi 7 the 1 gi 8 zoom chizogo. So what you will do is in the left side out here you see a panel where you can write your code. So ananalu so you write code something like giraffe 1 dot height equals to 8, and then 2 height equals to 7, 3 dot height equals to 6, and 4 dot height equals to 5. And zoom code GD, then you can run it in the shell. So you can see that giraffe's height increases more. And then you just click on the cart carrying the banana, and then it reaches to the monkey. So ani zoom chibe solve penny to ba. So let us go through one more challenge. Challenge 19 target. So Anizum imagine like now you have a whale mom. So you have a whale does something ba whale blows ear that raises the cart carrying the banana till the monkey mo. Anizum imagine now you can the blow be me the method imebate. It is something that the whale does mo. So in that you write code something like whale dot blow tilana the chi lapchi na nanalu parameters ti subose. So ananalu the number of square that you have to blow that air is equals to the another check betani the count baby 1 2 3 4 5 6 more 6 to 2 so well that blow 6 pesu tele run beodalu is gonna blow and then the katna fg palu kg untuba so ani zoom chive solve penny ananna shell so is that clear? So nga audible me lawachin and chat na drop it. So next, we'll learn something called sequencing. So sequencing semigachimo sewachin like code diudalu, there's a certain order mo. The dachi well one gachlo giraffe 1 dot height equals to 4, giraffe 2 dot height equals to 3, and d mena. So ani diudalu, the first code gachi honga, second code gachi honga, ani lu sequence chi honga. So ani sequence ludi, we call it we call it sequencing, ani method ludi. And then in order for your code to work, you have to make it in a correct sequence. The for instance, ngachi challenge chita getuga, so you'll understand more. Now, like now we have one snake and then we have a giraffe. So before you increase the length of the snake, you have to reduce the height of the giraffe more, because if you increase the length of the snake before you reduce the height, then that snake is going to bump into the giraffe. Na tame da. Firstly, if you increase the length and then only after that you reduce the height, kachi bioma sewajin. Nani bump jomba. So means that sequence matters more. So what we will do is we'll first reduce the height of the giraffe and then we will increase the length of the snake. So anilu the sequencing silang. So sequencing really matters. It works more. So the moral of the story is sequencing matters in coding. So check code first the check code correct diru first the guard you in a second the guard you in a anigi like sequence the shumbe digo tuga in the correct sequence. So is that clear as of now? Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, I'll try to slow down. Tuga. I'll try to slow down. Okay. So just that sequencing Zemidi, the sequence at which you write your code. First nagadinina, second nagadinina. So if you change the sequence, then your code will possibly be wrong because the chilab the zumbe hemajiraf ki height decrease mabe watin snake ti jobe bambe ni mevate. So that is all about sequencing, simple concept. So next we'll carry on and then we'll that essentially simple demo the giraffe 1 ki height increase pe, giraffe 2 ki height increase pe, the snake ki length increase pe, and be deva temo. Now challenge the tagituka. So ngasi ki challenge 27 tawachin. What you will notice is antame. What you will notice is you have some kamchi. You have 7 giraffes more. 7 giraffe 2 the kongi height chor thebe increase pegove like the togi capsule decrease pegove. So you have to set all the giraffes height to 5 units. Tuga. So any 5 units set beodalu what Datu since me tawachin what we do is giraffe 1 dot height equals to 5, giraffe 2 dot height equals to 5, baby joni yemenatimo. So it is repetitive code to. So you have to write 7 lines of code. So what these developers like computer scientists thought was the car repeat begowachin, isn't there a way that you can simplify the code? Like chunku be dive, karachi kaveran be tam the mitup ka kongi. So what they decided was they wanted to go through each giraffe and then they wanted to increase each giraffe's height to 5. So and the Gadabe Beung Salawachin, we use something called for loop. Tubga. So for loop Gachimo Semidi for loop Gachimo Semidi, I will come back to you, but before that we will learn something called list. So the giraffe ate dulo. Sorry. Giraffe ate du. Okay. So there are 8 giraffes more. And aragi height the 5 zone more. The 5 zone lu, we don't have to write 8 lines of code. So they wanted to simplify more. Simplify lu. They wanted to go through each giraffe and then decrease the height to 5 units. So ani lu, they couldn't directly do because there was a problem. The problem digachimo sevachin the computer ki file up melo. The I do not recognize the giraffe lamelo. The giraffe the guy in a koingo mishe lamelo. Because computer dingache sumchi membate. You have to feed some information to the computer. Tere chamchi kogi understand be umate file tuga. So computer wanted a separate file zumbela separately giraffe tisukara store china bebe ngaluluk dijinna selamelo fage. Tuga. If you can give that file containing all the giraffes together, then the computer can go through each one of them and then decrease their height to 5 units. So enable up the loop, what this developer did was they created one any structure the arrangement where they can store that giraffes. So hani arrangement ludi kachilaung se wasin ngache list laung tuga. Clear as of now? So list now list the book rack sunchi tuga. So you want to store giraffe more. you want to store giraffe in certain files together where computer can go through. So computer can go through and then it retrieve each giraffe and then giraffe rere tabe khog height the increase penina decrease penina hani tago bachin chika go selapchi mo ani zumchi bookshare zumchi. So what is a list? List is a collection of structured data mo data khasalapchi mo tato bebe galu giraffe ki name di data imeba. So ani data di chika beshani se wachin list zo selamelo. So list is something like a rack mo rack nalu where you have collection ta analu tawachin giraffe semi list zone tash. So how we make is we name the list the book rack kia ming o mena demo palu science corner like fiction corner se demo mena ani zumchi the giraffe semi ming chi sumo dele you have one operator nal beachin equal sign do and then uh, one thing that you should not forget is square brackets. So square bracket ni gi banalu, then you will have something called elements. Elements are the data. Tuga. That is giraffe two mena. So giraffe one, giraffe two, giraffe three, and zumbe. So there are three giraffes that we want to store. Not from the Chiki example. So say there are three giraffes that we want to store in a list. So what we do is we create a variable named giraffes and then we put one equal sign and then inside the square bracket we put three giraffes more giraffe 1 giraffe 2 giraffe 3 separated by commas. So ani garalu the list lapni tuga. So what it does is it just arranges and keeps the similar type of data together in a variable. Is that clear? Now in list we have something called indexing. So indexing la mi gachimo sewajin the position gachimo roll number zumchi. Tadachi giraffe 1, giraffe 2, giraffe 3 store beim list nalu. So you have three giraffes in a list. So these giraffes will receive a roll number zumbe, a number. Tuga. That number always starts from 0. Tangachi roll number beachi 1 list start beum. The list nalu emigi elements ki roll number it starts from 0 and those roll number is not called roll number, it is called index. Tuga. So now tawachin that giraffe 1 has index 0, giraffe 2 has index 1, giraffe 3 has index 2. Tuga. So if you want to refer to one particular element within the list, then you will not write the name of the element. So once it is inside the list, you have to refer it by index. So for instance, if you want to do something to giraffe 1 that is in index 0, what you have to do is you have to write giraffes square bracket open danalu index that is 0 giraffe 1 is 0 and then square bracket close. What that means is you are referring to giraffe 1. For instance, the bookshelf na jo if you have many books inside a bookshelf, so if you want to pick one book, you will not tell the title of the book. What you will refer it to is by the position. The bookshelf nalu rack number 1 na hemi book ti thuba shows lab zumei. Tugosh. So how it is important to us is now say you have stored your giraffes in a list. So you want to change the height of giraffe at the index 0. More giraffe 1 gicham height change penny is lavachin. How you can change is you have to write giraffes more. Giraffes the any list key variable and the chihani ki ming the d then square bracket open then ani index the giraffe 1 index is 0 dumo square bracket close then the chikizumbe dot height equals to 5. So that is sorry. So that is how you change the height of the giraffe inside a list. Is that clear? That's since how we gonna chat na left. Okay. So if you have understood this one, then I'm gonna say Chiani Gachlo quote the Tatole nale fa tami challenge this the master listener duba. So you have to understand this concept. So I'll repeat once again for your clearance, for your clarification. So when you create a list, you will have a variable. That's the name of the list. Ananalu giraffe sumbe. And then you will put equal sign, and then inside a square bracket you will store the number of elements or whatever you are interested in. So that's about 8 tumo. So you have to write 8 giraffes inside that list. Tuga. So if you want to change the height of a particular giraffe, then you have to refer it to by index and not by the name of the giraffe. So to refer it to by index, you have to write the variable name, that is giraffes, and then inside a square bracket you will put the index, and then you'll write dot height equals to 5 or 6 or how much ever height you want to change. That's all from list. So any list is zooming oda. So if you see one challenge, for instance, the challenge 27 tageme, challenge 20. So any challenge tawachin chegi, if you want to change the height more, the challenge remember you have 8 giraffes more. So you want to change the height of each giraffe in bate. So analyze check list teaming in something called level setup. Kongi list so the cheki denlo. So you do not have to know how to make the list, but you have to know how to deal with that list. List so midi gadeve the cheki modify benimo and this cheki shego tuga. So ananalu the list has been already prepared for you tuga. So the main objective was to increase the height of each giraffe, the 8 giraffes at a go mo. Ko the short so sachigu change penigi devate. For that we introduce lists mo. So gadebe biungsila wachinda using lists. What you do is you store the number of giraffes, the name of the giraffe, each giraffe inside a list. Tatame giraffes kinanalu we have 8 giraffes. Giraffe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, I forgot to include 8. More 8 giraffes. So Hannalu, so you have 8 giraffes which has an index, and then how you will do is you will use a for loop. So what for loop does is it will go through each one of these elements inside the giraffes, and then it will, in the second line, when you write giraffe dot height equals 5, it will change the height into to 5 units. So how you will write that is you will write something like for giraffe, for each giraffe mo English number origin, for each giraffe in giraffes mo and a giraffe sim like list skimming. So for giraffe in giraffes, so giraffe dot height equals to 5. So firstly, what it will do is you'll go through giraffe number 1, and then it will increase the height to 5. Sorry for interruption. So you'll go to giraffe number 1. So you'll increase the height to 5 more. And then it will then next, it will continue to giraffe 2. It will increase the height to 5. Giraffe 3, increase the height to 5, and so on. It will go on until you run out of the giraffes in that list. So for instance, the Nalu, that's 8 giraffes demo. So list has been prepared for you. So what you will do is you will write a code like this. For giraffe in giraffes, giraffe dot height equals to 5. So that's we have to write 8 lines of code. So for just 2 lines of code, this will all change the height of giraffe to 5 units. And then now the cart can finally run till the monkey to come. So that is how loops work, especially for loop works. Now out here, what you have to understand is a code diudalu. Whenever you are using a for loop, after the first sentence, you have to put 1 colon. So for giraffe in giraffes, you put a colon, and the second line or the lines that follows after that should be intended 4 units, 4 white spaces in what. So for instance, the second line giraffe dot height tawachin, you can see that it starts from from something like 4 white space की जबले start में हुआ. So that is a rule mo grammatical rules unchi coding gitu ga. So whenever you are using a loop, you should use colon and then followed by the sentences that follow the colon should be indentation lauma indented 4 white space inwards. Hagoi mamchi. Hagoi ga chat box na si audible do ga. Am I audible now? Okay. Okay. So damchi base saudalu gachlo there is a problem tungam the gachlo computer science is all about solving the problem ba problem sapchi thin darwani solve pe tar sapchi thin bedewa. So earlier our problem was we wanted to reduce the number of lines mo lines ni nalu sachibe easy zobe betani bedevate. So we solved that problem using list and for loops mo the problem sapchi do kachidu silawachin. For instance, the let us look at challenge 31 tuga. Let us go to challenge 31 and I'll explain you the problem. So if you see here, you see that 3 of the giraffes' height need not be changed more. Already the kamchigoni mein height thi. You require something like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Giraffe ka height 10 goni mein ba. So 3 of this giraffe already have height equals to 10. While other 6, their height is not equals to 10. They have 7 more. They have a height of 7. So you want to change the height of this more. Giraffe from giraffe 1 till 7, 1 till 6 to 10. But then you do not have to change the height of the giraffe number 8, 9, 10 more. And it's only change be mingo bebate. So if you are using a for loop, then you will iterate through all the giraffes in the list and then change their height more. But then out here, you do not have to change the height of 3 giraffes. So gade beni. So we cannot use the for loop now because it will change the height of all more. So tetedi ani 10 be mideva. Now this 3 may have height equals to 11 more. The khungi delu so be change pego wede. You have to reduce it to 10. So anisum chithembachin you cannot use a for loop because you have to change the height differently more. So if you are using a list now and going through each element, you will go through them all. So for loop dida work mi veni me bate. So any problem how go gada? Did you understand this problem? Oh, problem how go? So you will do something now so that you can change the height of only certain number of giraffes. So cheka this dechigi change pe this cheka gi so vera change pe ni. So for that problem, now what they did was they introduced something called range tuga. So what is a range? So range is a function, Python ki function chi. So what it does is it takes out certain number of elements from list, a data structure tuga list peru gachi peru tato berachin list mo. So in list nale it takes out and it retypes certain amount like certain number of elements and then it creates a new element anyway. So be chikaten shanga. So anilu range selapi. So how it works is you do not have to do anything. You just have to type range, the bracket open. Then you, if you are starting from index 0 more, if you are starting from index 0 and if you are going till index 5, so what you will write is range, bracket open, 5, bracket close. More. So anambe odalu, te gachlo fa it will go from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 since so 5 elements by more. Tele and a number do 5 and 5 will not be included. 5 they include maybe it goes up to but not including number 5. So on a number gachi chuchi ani number d like it will not be included. So dachigi So if you see this list, so if you say range 5, what it does is it goes from giraffe 1 more 0 na 2 0 1 2 3 4, and then it will stop here. It will not go to giraffe 6. Agoimo index 5 na himidi, it will not uh, it will not consider that one. So now if you want to go from 3 to 8 more, the 0 the core shabe 0 dimming over. So but if you have to start from somewhere in middle, then what you will do is you will include two parameters out here. So first carry 3. So you are starting from 3 more. So 3 now start baby, you are going up till 8, but not including 8. So 3D include Beonalu. So if you have 9 elements, you'll start from 3. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, diba, then 8 will not be considered. Anyway, range key. Agoi? Is that clear mo? Chat not reply here. Okay. Mashigi, yes. So if you are not clear, I'll go once again more. Once again, one final time. Range is something that extract data from already existing list. Tunga. So certain amount, certain section. For instance, the list naluche, if you have the names of all boys and girls in the class, and if you want to extract only the boys, then you use range. Tuga. Ani kachlo, because it is stored in a list and then it has all the elements you want to retype a certain section. So on the Gadebe Beumusilawachin, if you are starting from index 0, then you do not have to include that 0. You can directly write the index till which you are going. So if you are writing 5, the element at number 5 more index 5 will not be considered. 5 timi babate. So it will go up till 4. So if you are writing 3 and 8, then it will start from 3. 3 is included, and then it will stop at 7 more 8 the consider me. So upper limit is not considered and a note natawachin, but lower limit is included. So for instance, dangachi giraffe ki bewachin, if you want to change giraffe at index 3, 4, 5 more, and assume the change penny height change to 4 penny bachin, what you'll do is you'll write for index in the range more 3, 5 giraffe. And we are indexing more giraffe. We are not looping through any giraffe individual matavate. Tato we are going through index of that giraffe. So what you'll do is giraffe, then index more the chikizumbe. So index square bracket nanosu, and then you will change the height to 4. So what it will do is, firstly, index will be 3 more. So 3 will come out down here. Giraffe at index 3 dot height equals to 4. Then it will go to 4. Giraffe at index 4 dot height equals to 4. Then it will go to 5. Giraffe at index 5 dot height equals to 4. And then it will stop. So similarly, if you want to change from 0 to 3, you just write 3 out here, and 3 will not be considered more. And then it will go from index 0, 1, 2, and then change the height to 5. Is that clear? So we will go back to the challenge and solve the challenge. The challenge 31 na jo be solve chi beta ke tuwa. So if you go to challenge 31 now, what you have out here is you have I think 1, 2, 3. You have 9 giraffes more. 9 giraffe 2, and then giraffe number giraffe at index 6 more, and actually upper right corner and monkey ki gutu talu tawajin, you'll see which giraffe is that, and kazadiana eppe kazadiana just keep on that giraffe, and then you see what giraffe it is above the head of the monkey. So another giraffe at index 6 more, giraffe at index 6, giraffe at index 7, and giraffe at index 8 the change pe mingo evate. So you have to go from index 0 till index 5 since. So how he will do is, so if you see the quote out here, and line number 5 to Tawajin, for index in range 6. So ani gachipion silawachin index start from 0 mo. It will go till 5. So ngachina 5 till 5 goni mebate. Because you have giraffe at index 5 which height need to be changed mo. That's lapchi 60 include me base mo. So for index in range 6 D mo, then don't forget the colon out here. Then you indent mo. Then any print the it is just to print the index mo ani the madiru tube. It's just to make you clear the money shell na run by the index thing. So main line is line number 7. Giraffe the index mo ani index the kachimo selawachin every time this index changes pate. So first loop beodalu the index will be 0. So what it does is giraffe at index 0 when it runs and then dot height equals to 5. Similarly, it will loop giraffe at index 1, giraffe at index 2, and then it will set all the giraffe's height to 5. So we do not want 5 more. We want to change this height to come stay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more. So what the only thing you have to do out here is you have to change the height to 10. So 10 baby run beta the see the magic now. And look, see how it is running. Index print baby 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5 index kiani gachlo index 5 since we change beta into 1. So now you have changed the height of every giraffe that need to be changed without disturbing the height of those giraffe whose height need not be changed. So this is what a range does. Clear mo? So is everybody clear? So that time as to do, we have like about 10 minutes. So darigi topic the I think this is all for today. So if you have any questions, the kachulani chat nalu post pemo, I'll answer it. Tatura. So what you will do is after this, you go back home and then you will solve those challenges to range ani gachlo challenge na DDA if you see the challenge out here on the side na DDA and for loop range say you will solve all the challenges till ani gachlo daringa gitemo range sense ani gara solve pemo and then whatever you do not understand you will ask you will post that question in that document that was shared to you and the next class ki beginning nalu will clarify those questions tuga okay lalu ki solve pe silo very well so index key once more okay so is data and list is related lo yes list is more ani data structure selama list is something that arranges the data more data jani gidelu for instance chigi like you collect data collection lab mo you collect the height of each individual in your class mo and this list na store way then you can make do some operation to that list to do some gachimo the study or anything related to that data tuga nava 10 nai nava exact same time but nava you will learn about you will continue data science so next class naludi
Do you guys aware that what language you are studying depend on the tail 1 and 2? And she got choose computer language ka chil hapto ka chesu. Python mo. Shebi mo lalo ki shebi okay. The two band on the tail 1 the 2 na li ki language di computer language di nga chigi na English dong ka ye dusumbe. Chesu ka chil hamu lalo Python lapto to. In the junior class, chesu class 3 na dipta di ka chil hap chila wajindi. You guys learn the 아니 code bini malaba di mus drag and drop chil hap chimena. Chiridu 아니 beaver achiever this no drag and drop hap chimus hani this di block coding sala on this. Then after that 4 to 6 we have learned some text mo hani the text coding that coding is called coffee script. Machigi language cho ani zumlab to zumbe computer have also a like name Python no other languages the resource language so those language are the computer language computer can understand only those language the computer program that one then the mush couple ki coding this four index row range low then the and this to car coding tell the computer to do something me ba using those code analu dinga chi codes lang analu so analu pe ba four index in range la pe analu space chung chi janu me mo ani ka chi bi ja ko bina ani the indentation those are the rules sum chi in konsugi so ani the ani be majority coding is sensitive so ani be space majority it will not work it is kind of the analu ngachi ka chi lang la chin term the syntax lang analu is kind of rules ani delay the two ani ka chula banana till 2D you will learn in class 8 na lang ba the concept will be repeat bit how but in the advanced level na how so the two letter concept ani be chumi se shebajin it easy for you to understand in banana till 2 ki ani topic this and if you have any questions tariki kachi question you bachindi you can write in the Google Docs that I have shared in this group or I will share in the Telegram group as well. Analuchi any beta. So we will reply tomorrow or day after tomorrow. And Monday na. Now class he delay Saturday Sunday na the class me. So we'll inform in the group. Please be active in the group. Tuka.
So is list and indexing fall under data lomo chigi? So gachilo data semidi like you have real world information imate. So list and indexing, these are tools, more computer tools that you use to analyze data. Kasa data collection, data analysis lapchimo. So to analyze this data, these are the tools, some tools that we use. So fall under data the main, but then they are related. They work side by side too. And then somebody was asking me to repeat indexing once more. So anytime as doing a repeat Beijing itu. So indexing labdalu, you are just giving something like roll number to to that elements inside the list too. So that roll number always starts from 0 mo and goes on until you run out of the elements in that list. For instance, nalu the 3 elements to bate. So on 3 elements to it starts from 0 mo 0 1 2 way. So that is called index. So every time you have to refer to the element that is inside that list. Mo every time chegi ani list nanage element chilu kachikuchi bego wachin only one lu bego wachin. So what you will do is you'll do something called indexing mo. Annaludi you will write the gachlo name of that list. Mo list ki name giraffe se dunga na dato. So ani write pe tele square bracket chi sumo ani ki nanaludi you'll put the index. So that's inga cheni for index in range se suimena. So annanalu bracket open be index suibate. Handi gachimo se wachin. So ani index the loop be udalu change chomate tachi thendemena malu print be. So first nalu 0 theomo ani 0 di included ana ma computer ki 0 be consider be. So bracket open be 0 su dot height tele equals to 5 ani change jotu and the indexing selaping. Agoiga. So ani first time taudalu chei complicated thong because language imate the Chinese first time go there chei gade habong. So more ani gachilo chegi put this gachilo practice be follow jo be ani gachilo challenge solve be dalu you'll understand it by yourself tuga ni mambe hago sup note na refer be tel fajo solve be dalu you'll understand how it works hamchirai.
Okay, thank you all for joining with us today and see you tomorrow. Now I join Ben and Navadi. We will continue
Analu
with data science.
assisi do man.
Eh.
So chigi dinuwa for giraffe in giraffe se madiwa for g in giraffe g dot height se tiudalu tupka se labetinuwa. Yes, it is possible. Kachibi se wachin chigi anidi gachilo you are giving a name to the elements mo. So ngachigi giraffe se diru g se diru it will be same tuga but then chigi ani list ki name di change penimyo. So for giraffe in giraffe same nate. So giraffes the you cannot change it because an the list ki meaning bate. But an element ki meaning the you can give whatever you like. So for G in giraffe, G dot height city rutu. Yam jirai ma'am.
I'm Jeremy.
Yam
Thank
jirai
you all. See you tomorrow.